Millennials are the largest generation in America, making up 38% of the workforce. And with the shifting job landscape, it's likely they'll change jobs more frequently than their parents or grandparents ever did. To manage those transitions, they need strategies that work, and they have to overcome what researchers identify as a generational characteristic, a hesitation to meet people face to face. Author Pat Headley is challenging young professionals to do just that. She's written a book called Meet 100 People, giving them tools to seek out mentors and leaders to build their careers. I spoke with her recently about what works when you need to build a network. Your advice is meet 100 people, but of course that's kind of just where it starts. Right. What's the actual advice that you give anybody who's looking to figure out how to move ahead in their career?
I start with the very basic premise of you have to look at yourself. There has to be a little self-examination of what you want to achieve and who you hope to meet. That's where you have to begin. Then you have to reach out to your network. Everyone has a network, and it could be your friends, your family, your neighbors, and other people that you talk to. And ask them for warm referrals, because it's much easier than cold calls. Then you do research, and then you spend time with people, actually developing those connections. And the most important thing a young person, and even one who's more experienced, can do is ask for advice and view the opportunity as a learning opportunity, not necessarily as one of looking for a job, but learning from the other person.
I think a lot of people would say, well, that's fine. You're Pat Headley, who spent 30 years working in private equity, but here I am trying to get a job. Who am I going to call? And why would they sit down and meet with me?
That's one of the biggest fears young people have, is they worry that they don't have anything to offer and that people won't talk to them. And in fact, young people have a lot to offer, and older people and more experienced people want to help young people. They want to give them advice, and they're interested in their life perspective. And a lot of people want to get the opportunity to talk to young people to learn about social media and the digital world that they're not as familiar with.
There are certainly people who I think lack social capital in various experiences, maybe because socioeconomically they're in a different class, racially they feel like, hey, if I come to this company, I'm going to be the only black person or only Latino in this entire environment, and they feel like, I don't have the social capital to move in this space. I would assume that this advice then is even more critical for them. Harder maybe, but more critical.
I absolutely think it's even more critical. And those thoughts of, I can't do this, are self-defeating. You can't stop, you can't not try. You have to give it your effort to go out and talk to people and to meet with people. I just met a young woman 2 nights ago when I was talking at a university, and she told me a great story. She said she wanted to get a job working at a hospital as a nurse, and emailed, texted, called, all of those efforts did not work. She actually went there and said, I'm going to volunteer, I'm going to be there. And during the interview she had with the volunteer coordinator, somebody said, you know what, I love your bubbly personality. Why don't you work here instead? So by being in the right place, she was able to get lucky. I think the more people you meet, the luckier you get.
I think for a lot of people, the time they get no is when it stops, right? They figure, This person has said no, it couldn't be any more clear, I should not be doing this.
In a business setting, sometimes a no is a maybe. And I think if you're really interested in an opportunity, just like the story with this young woman was at the hospital, then you keep at it, you keep asking.
I think a lot of millennials also don't necessarily recognize that often in hiring, it's who people remember last. You need to kind of be in the sphere, that the actual physical interaction is more memorable than, yes, check, I sent my resume.
There is a study that was published in the Harvard Business Review that said that despite what you think, if you meet someone in person, you are more likely to get what you're asking for. They're 34 times more likely than if you either text or email. I think having in-person meetings and talking to people in person is very powerful. That's where magic happens.
Pat Headley, the book is called Meet 100 People. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure.